I know you have questions about that photo, about what happened back then. It's time I told you everything. For conspicuous gallantry and devotion to duty, we honor your sacrifice.
He threw it into the river on a Tuesday afternoon in September 1946. Not in a rage, not in the specific dramatic gesture of the specific dramatic moment that the specific dramatic telling would prefer. He walked the bridge over the specific river in the specific Ohio city, and he stood there for a while, and then he opened his hand, and the specific metal fell into the specific water, and he watched it until it was gone. Then he walked home. He kept the box, the specific velvet-lined box that the specific metal had come in, the specific presentation box with a specific indentation where the specific metal had rested. He put back in the specific drawer in the specific bedroom, and he kept it there for the rest of his life. Not the metal, the box where the metal had been. His name was Gerald. He had received a Bronze Star in 1945 for the specific action in the specific battle in the specific European theater that the specific citation described in the specific official language of the specific military commendation. The citation said he had shown valor. He had performed the specific action under the specific enemy fire that had put the specific other men at the specific risk that the specific action had addressed. The citation was accurate. The specific action had happened in the specific way the citation described. He had thrown the metal into the river because of what else had happened in the specific battle. The specific other thing, the specific thing that was not in the citation, that had happened in the specific conditions of the specific same engagement, and that the specific official record did not contain. He did not speak about the specific other thing for 30 years. He had told no one, not his wife, not his children, not the specific friends who had served alongside him and who knew the general shape of the specific engagement, but not the specific thing he was carrying. He had thrown the metal into the river, and he had kept the box, and he had lived with both. The specific absence of the specific metal and the specific presence of the specific thing the metal could not account for 30 years. Before I tell you what he eventually told and what the telling cost and what the telling gave, I want to ask you directly. Subscribe and share this episode. The soldiers who rejected their own decorations who found, in the specific medal or the specific ribbon or the specific official recognition of the specific action, the specific wrong accounting of the specific thing, are among the specific most honest people in the specific record of the specific war, because the specific rejection of the specific honor requires the specific courage that the specific acceptance does not. Subscribe and hit the like button. Back to Gerald. Back to the metal in the river. The specific question of what it means to live with the specific knowledge of the specific wrong thing done in the specific combat conditions, to carry the specific private accounting in the specific private form for specific years after, is one that the specific psychological research has addressed under the specific concept of moral injury. Moral injury is a specific term that the specific researchers Jonathan Shea and Brett Litz developed in the specific work on the specific psychological consequences of the specific combat, and it is a specific, most precise term available for the specific thing that Gerald was living with, not PTSD in the specific clinical sense. Though the specific conditions that produce moral injury and the specific conditions that produce PTSD often overlap, the specific distinctive feature of the specific moral injury is the specific element the specific person has done or witnessed or failed to prevent the specific thing that the specific person believes was a specific wrong thing, and the specific knowledge of the specific thing produces a specific ongoing internal conflict that the specific term names. Gerald's specific moral injury was the specific knowledge that he had killed the specific surrendering man. The specific knowledge did not prevent the specific functioning. He functioned for 30 years with full and effective engagement in the specific Ohio life. But it was present. It was in the specific bedroom drawer with the specific empty box. It was in the specific Tuesday afternoon on the specific bridge that he never fully left, in the specific way of the specific person who has a specific moral injury, who could be fully present in the specific present and also permanently connected to the specific moment. The specific concept of moral injury has allowed the specific subsequent generation of the specific combat veterans, including Gerald's son, and the specific Vietnam veterans who threw their medals over specific capital offense, to name the specific thing more precisely than the specific earlier generation had the specific vocabulary for. Gerald did not have the specific term. He had the specific empty box, and the specific 30 years, and the specific Tuesday afternoon. His son, coming home from Vietnam in 1972, also did not have the specific term. The specific research that would produce the specific term was still a decade away. But his son had the specific father's specific telling in 1976, which was a specific first time that the specific older man had given the specific younger man the specific language of the specific private accounting, not the specific clinical vocabulary of the specific moral injury. Gerald was not a clinician, but the specific honest vocabulary of the specific man who had done the specific thing and who was finally speaking about it. He said, "I did the wrong thing. I knew it when I did it. I have known it since. The medal said I was right. I was not right. I threw the medal away because I could not keep the thing that said I was right when I knew I was not." That is the specific language. That is a specific honest vocabulary that the specific 30-year silence had been protecting against the specific outside world, and that the specific conversation with the specific son had finally released into the specific air between them. His son received it. He had his own specific things he was protecting against the specific outside world, and the specific father's specific speaking had opened the specific particular door that the specific particular speaking requires to be opened before the specific particular speaking can begin. They spoke, father and son, European theater and Vietnam, the specific bridge over the specific Ohio River, and the specific particular things that the specific son was also carrying. They spoke across the specific 30 years of the specific father's silence, and the specific 4 years of the specific son's silence, and the specific conversations in 1976 were the specific conversations that neither of them had had with anyone else and that both of them needed to have. Gerald died in 1988. His son is still alive. The oral history that the specific son gave in 1995 is in the specific veteran's archive. The specific record is both the specific story of the specific father as the specific son tells it, and the specific story of the specific son as the specific son tells it, in the specific form of the specific single interview that contains both the specific accounts. The medal is in the river. The box is in the drawer. The oral history is in the archive. Those are the three specific forms of the specific accounting. The specific river received the specific medal. The specific drawer kept the specific box. The specific archive received the specific words. All three are the specific Gerald. The specific river received the specific part of him that the specific medal had represented. The specific drawer kept the specific part of him that the specific empty box represents. The specific archive received the specific part of him that the specific speaking to the specific son had finally produced. He is fully in the record, not in the specific official record. The specific official record has a specific citation and the specific bronze star and the specific name. The specific full record has the specific river and the specific box and the specific oral history interview in which the specific son spoke for both of them. That is the specific full accounting. That is Gerald. The specific final thing I want to say is about the specific empty box, the specific velvet line presentation box that Gerald kept in the specific bedroom drawer for the rest of his life after throwing the specific medal into the specific river. He could have thrown the box away too. He could have destroyed the entire evidence of the specific official accounting that the specific medal represented. He kept the box. The specific keeping of the specific empty box is the specific most honest act of the specific full story, not the throwing of the medal. That was a specific rejection of the specific official accounting. The keeping of the box was a specific acknowledgement that the specific something had been there, that the specific action had been performed and recognized, while also acknowledging that the specific recognition, in the specific form of the specific medal, was a specific wrong form for the specific thing it was recognizing. He had done the specific action. The specific action had warranted the specific recognition. The specific recognition, in the specific form of the specific medal, had been the specific incomplete accounting. He threw the incomplete accounting into the river. He kept the specific evidence that the specific accounting had existed. The box held the absence. The absence held the truth. He was a specific man who had done the specific valor and the specific wrong in the same specific second, and who had spent 30 years holding both in the specific private form of the specific empty box, and who had finally given the specific both to his son in the specific conversations of 1976, and who had died in 1988 with a specific oral history not yet recorded but the specific speaking already done. His son recorded the oral history in 1995. The specific words are in the archive. The specific both, the specific valor and the specific wrong, are in the record. Gerald held both. The box held the absence. The archive held the words. Subscribe and share this story with someone who understands the specific weight of the specific thing done in the specific conditions and the specific ongoing living with the specific thing. Their weight is real. The specific carrying deserves acknowledgement. He threw the medal away. He kept the box. He told his son, the words are in the record. That is enough. That is everything. That is a soldier who threw away his war medal and spent decades explaining why. The specific moral situation that Gerald inhabited. The specific position of the soldier who has done the specific thing in the specific conditions that produced it and who must live with the specific thing in the specific conditions of the specific ordinary life after, is one of the most studied and least resolved questions in the ethics of the specific combat. The specific philosophical tradition has approached this question from multiple directions. The just war tradition, the specific body of ethical thinking that addresses the specific conditions under which the specific war is permissible and the specific actions within the specific war are permissible, provides a specific framework that acknowledges the specific moral complexity of the specific combat situation. The specific combatant who kills in accordance with the specific rules of war is not guilty of murder in the specific legal or the specific moral sense that the civilian homicide represents. The specific killing of the specific enemy combatant in the specific legitimate combat is a specific legitimate act of the specific legitimate war. The specific German soldier whose hands were going up was, in that specific moment, not an enemy combatant in the specific operational sense. The specific surrender changes the specific status. The specific killing of the specific surrendering soldier is a specific violation of the specific law of war that the specific Geneva Convention addresses. Gerald knew this. He had known it in the specific moment, had known, even as a specific decision was being made in the specific fraction of the specific second, that the specific hands were the specific hands going up and that the specific killing was a specific wrong killing. He had done it anyway. In the specific conditions of the specific combat that had produced a specific reaction faster than the specific judgment. He had spent 30 years with this, not in the specific dramatic way of the specific dramatic moral crisis, not the specific inability to function, not the specific clinical breakdown, in the specific private way of the specific person who knows a specific thing about himself and who carries a specific knowledge in the specific private form that the specific ordinary life allows. He went to work. He raised his children. He maintained the specific Ohio life. He kept the specific empty box in the specific bedroom drawer. The specific question that the specific philosophers who study the ethics of combat have addressed, whether the specific soldier in the specific conditions of the specific combat can be morally responsible for specific actions taken in specific extreme conditions that the specific combat produces, is a question that Gerald did not engage with in the specific philosophical vocabulary. He engaged with it in the specific practical vocabulary of the specific man who did the specific thing and who lives with it. His practical accounting was, he had done the specific wrong thing. The specific conditions had produced a specific decision, and the specific conditions were real, and the specific chaos, and the specific adrenaline, and the specific second were all real. And also he had done the specific wrong thing. Both were true. He had thrown the medal away, because the medal could not hold both. The medal held only the specific valor, and not the specific wrong. He needed to hold both. The medal in the specific drawer was the specific wrong container for the specific both true. The empty box was a specific better container. The specific acknowledgement that the specific something had been there and had been removed without the specific claiming of the specific valor that the specific presence of the specific metal would have required. There were other soldiers who made similar decisions. Not all of them threw medals into rivers. The specific form of the specific rejection varied with the specific person and the specific particular situation. Some returned medals to the specific government. Some gave them away to people they felt had earned them better. Some locked them in boxes and never looked at them again. Some destroyed them in different specific forms. Each specific form of the specific rejection was the specific person's specific response to the specific tension between the specific official accounting and the specific private accounting. The specific official accounting, the specific citation, the specific medal, the specific institutional acknowledgement of the specific action is always the specific partial accounting. It accounts for the specific action in the specific official terms that the specific institution uses to account for the specific action. It does not account for specific other things, the specific wrong things, the specific complicated things, the specific things that happen in the specific same engagement that the specific official terms do not address. Gerald's citation accounted for the specific valor. His private accounting also included the specific German soldier and the specific hands and the specific second. The specific official accounting was true as far as it went. It did not go far enough for Gerald. He threw the medal away. The specific other soldiers whose stories I want to tell, the specific range of the specific rejection of the specific official accounting, illuminate the specific broader phenomenon. There was a soldier from Louisiana who had been awarded the Silver Star in the Pacific Campaign, and who, in 1947, mailed it back to the War Department with a specific letter explaining that the specific action for which the specific award had been given had also involved the specific killing of specific Japanese soldiers who had been wounded and who had been beyond the specific capacity to fight, and who had been killed anyway, in the specific conditions of the specific Pacific Island fighting, where the specific taking of the specific prisoners had been the specific operationally complicated thing. He did not claim that the specific killing had been the specific atrocity in the specific legal sense. The specific conditions of the specific Pacific Island fighting had produced a specific situation where the specific options were the specific narrow options, and the specific killing was a specific one of the specific narrow options that the specific conditions had made. But he also did not claim that the specific killing was a specific, simply right thing that the specific Silver Star implied. The specific medal implied the specific, simply right thing. He could not keep the specific implication. He mailed it back. The War Department acknowledged receipt in a specific form letter that the specific bureaucratic acknowledgement of the specific return medal required. He kept the specific form letter in the specific folder with the specific copy of the specific letter he had sent. He showed the specific folder to his children when they were old enough to understand what they were looking at. The specific other case I want to tell is more recent, a Vietnam veteran who had been awarded the Distinguished Service Cross, and who, in 1971, threw his medal over the fence at the Capitol during the specific protest that the specific Vietnam veterans against the war organized. He was 24 years old. He had been in Vietnam for 2 tours. He threw the specific medal over the specific fence and said the specific words that the specific protest was organized around, the specific words that named the specific things the specific war had required, the specific men who were now throwing the specific medals back. He was not Gerald. He had not done the specific, particular wrong thing that Gerald had done. He had done the specific things that the specific war had required, and he had decided at 24 that the specific war had required the specific wrong things, and that the specific medals that the specific war had given him for doing the specific wrong things were the specific wrong things to keep. Both Gerald and the Vietnam veteran threw their medals away. The specific reasons were different. Gerald's reason was a specific private accounting of the specific private wrong. The Vietnam veteran's reason was a specific public accounting of the specific public wrong. Both were the specific honest rejections of the specific official accounting that the specific medals represented. Both deserved the specific serious engagement that the specific serious rejection of the specific honor requires. The specific person who throws a specific medal away is saying something specific about the specific gap between the specific official accounting and the specific truth, and the specific saying deserves to be heard. Gerald said it quietly, into a river on a Tuesday afternoon. He spent 30 years not saying anything else. Then he told his son. The telling was a specific completing act. the specific thing that the specific throwing into the river had begun, and that only the specific speaking could finish. The metal was gone. The speaking was a specific new form of the specific accounting that the specific truth required. He spoke. His son heard. His son began to speak. That is a specific chain of the specific accounting. From the specific Tuesday afternoon on the specific bridge, to the specific 30 years of the specific private carrying, to the specific 1976 conversation with the specific son, to the specific 1995 oral history interview in which the specific son spoke for himself and for his father. The specific chain is real. The specific accounting is in the record. The specific thing that the specific metal could not account for is a specific thing that the specific war produced in the specific conditions of the specific combat that the specific historians and the specific psychologists have been studying since the specific war ended, the specific actions taken in the specific heat of the specific extreme moment that the specific ordinary moral framework of the specific ordinary life would not have sanctioned, and that the specific extraordinary conditions of the specific combat had made not simply possible, but in some cases necessary. He was not a cruel man. He was not a man who had committed the specific atrocity that the specific war also produced, the specific deliberate targeting of the specific civilians, the specific acts that the specific law of war prohibited and that the specific tribunals addressed. What he had done was in a different category. The specific action in the specific moment of the specific battle that had been the specific tactically correct action, and that had also, in the specific simultaneous other dimension of the specific moral accounting, been the specific wrong thing. The specifics he eventually disclosed in 1976 to his son, who was then 26 and who had come home from Vietnam, and who was in the specific state of the specific veteran, who needs a specific older veteran to speak first, were the specifics of a moment in the specific German town that his unit had taken in the final weeks of the European War. He had shot a German soldier. The shooting was the specific tactically correct action in the specific conditions of the specific engagement. The German soldier was also, at the moment of the specific shooting, in the process of surrendering. He had seen the hands going up. He had shot anyway. The specific conditions of the specific moment, the specific chaos of the specific urban combat, the specific adrenaline, the specific second in which the specific decision was made, were the specific conditions in which the specific decision had been made and in which the specific alternative decision would have required the specific time and the specific clarity that the specific conditions did not provide. He had killed a man who was surrendering. He had received a medal for the engagement in which the killing occurred. The medal acknowledged the specific valor. It did not acknowledge the specific killing. The specific killing was a specific thing that the specific medal could not contain, and the specific medal in his hand after the war was a specific object that made the specific containment visible in the specific most uncomfortable form. He threw it in the river. The specific river did not resolve the specific thing. He understood this when he threw it. He threw it anyway, because the specific throwing was the specific only available form of the specific refusal to accept the specific official accounting as the specific complete accounting. The specific medal said, "You were brave and you were right." He knew he had been brave. He also knew he had been wrong, in a specific simultaneous way that the specific extreme conditions of the specific combat sometimes produce both in the same second. He kept the box because the specific box was a specific remaining form of the specific acknowledgement that the specific thing had happened, the specific something that the specific metal had represented, before the specific metal had gone into the specific river, now represented by the specific absence in the specific velvet of the specific box. He lived with the specific box for 30 years. He worked at the hardware store. He married and had children. He was, by the specific external accounting of the specific Ohio life, the specific successful and the specific good man that the specific external accounting identifies. He was also, in the specific private accounting of the specific bedroom drawer and the specific Tuesday afternoon on the specific bridge, the specific man who had thrown the specific metal into the specific river because the specific metal could not account for the specific thing. His son came home from Vietnam in 1972. He had served 2 tours. He had done things that he was also not speaking about in the specific condition of the specific Vietnam veteran of the specific period who had no framework for the specific speaking and no community that would have received the specific speaking if the specific framework had existed. Gerald watched his son for 4 years. He watched him not speaking in the specific way that he himself had not been speaking for 30 years, and he understood the specific silence from the specific inside in the way that the specific person who has maintained the specific silence for a specific long time understands the specific silence in the specific other person. In 1976, he told his son, not everything at once. The specific full accounting required the specific several conversations over specific several months. But the specific essential thing, the specific German town, the specific German soldier, the specific hands going up, the specific shooting, the specific medal, the specific river. His son listened. He did not judge. He told his father, grateful not for the specific thing his father had done, but for the specific telling, which was the specific first time that the specific older veteran had spoken first, and the specific speaking had created the specific space for the specific younger veteran to begin the specific speaking of his own. Gerald's son began to speak. Not that same day. The specific process required the specific more time. But in the specific months after the specific conversation, the specific son began to tell the specific things that the specific 2 Vietnam tours had produced in the specific context of the specific older veteran's specific telling, having shown that the specific telling was a specific possible thing. Gerald had spoken first. His son could speak. This is a specific form of the specific gift that the specific older veteran's specific 30-year silence had finally made available to the specific younger veteran who needed the specific speaking. He died in 1988. The box is still in the family. His son, who spoke about both his own Vietnam experience and his father's specific European experience in the specific oral history interview that the specific veteran's archive recorded in 1995, is still alive and still speaking. The medal is in the river. The box is in the drawer. The specific thing that neither the medal nor the river could contain is in the oral history interview, in the specific words of the specific son speaking for himself and for the specific father who had finally spoken to him. He threw the medal away because it was the wrong accounting. He spent 30 years with the wrong accounting specific absence. He told his son, and the specific telling was the specific beginning of the specific right accounting. The right accounting is in the oral history. The medal is in the river. That is the full accounting of the soldier who threw away his war medal and spent decades explaining why. The specific broader context of soldiers who rejected their decorations across the specific wars of the specific 20th century reveals the specific pattern that Gerald's specific case represents. The specific act of returning or destroying a military decoration is not unprecedented and is not rare. The specific history of the specific rejection of the specific honor begins, in the American context, at least as far back as the Civil War, when the specific soldiers who had been given the specific commendations for the specific actions that they themselves found the specific morally ambiguous began the specific tradition of the specific private rejection that the specific public culture did not have a framework for. The specific First World War produced specific cases. The specific Second World War produced more. The specific Korea produced some. The Vietnam War produced the most visible and the most public. The specific 1971 protests at the Capitol, in which the specific veterans threw their specific medals over the specific fence in the specific public form of the specific collective rejection, the specific most organized and the specific most media-covered instance of the specific phenomenon. The specific 1971 protest was different from Gerald's specific 1946 bridge in several specific ways. Gerald's rejection was the specific private accounting, the specific personal reckoning with the specific personal wrong, conducted alone on the specific bridge on the specific Tuesday afternoon. The specific 1971 protest was a specific public accounting, the specific political statement about the specific public wrong, conducted collectively in the specific public space with the specific media present. Both were the specific rejections of the specific official accounting. Both were the specific honest statements that the specific medals could not contain what the specific veterans needed them to contain, but they were the specific different kinds of the specific rejection, and the specific different kinds illuminate the specific different kinds of specific weight that the specific different wars produce in the specific different veterans. Gerald's weight was a specific personal weight of the specific personal action. He had done the specific thing. He needed to carry the specific weight of the specific thing. The specific metal was the specific wrong container for specific weight, and the specific throwing of the specific metal was the specific necessary act of removing the specific wrong container. The Vietnam veterans who threw their medals over the fence were carrying the specific weight too, the specific particular things they had done, the specific particular things they had witnessed, the specific particular things the specific war had required. But they were also making the specific public statement that the specific war itself had been the specific wrong war, and that the specific medals the specific war had given them were the specific wrong medals for the specific wrong war. The specific distinction matters, not to adjudicate which was more legitimate, but to understand the specific different forms that the specific rejection of the specific honor can take. The specific Private Gerald on the specific bridge and the specific public veterans at the specific capital were both doing the specific honest thing. They were doing it in the specific different forms that the specific different situations and the specific different temperaments required. Gerald was not a public person. He was a specific hardware store in the specific Ohio life, and the specific bedroom drawer with the specific empty box. The public statement was not the specific form available to him. The specific bridge on the specific Tuesday afternoon was the specific form available to him, and he used it. He was right to use it. The specific form he used was the specific right form for the specific person. He was in the specific situation. The specific public veterans were right to use the specific form they used for the specific reasons they had, and in the specific conditions that the specific 1971 moment had produced. The specific honest rejection of the specific wrong accounting is a specific honest rejection regardless of the specific form it takes. Gerald's River, the specific Capitol fence, the specific Louisiana soldier's mail return, the specific man from the specific different war who locked the specific box and never opened it. All of them said the specific metal cannot account for the specific thing. All of them were right. All of them deserve the specific acknowledgement that the specific honest rejection requires. Gerald said it quietly into the river. He spent 30 years not saying it any other way. Then he said it to his son. The son heard it. The son began to say his own specific things. The oral history preserved both. The specific river has a specific metal. The specific archive has the specific words. Both are the specific full accounting. Both are Gerald. The specific son, Gerald's son, who is a specific narrator of the specific oral history interview that the specific veterans archive holds, speaks in the interview with the specific particular authority of the person who has received the specific thing from the specific source and who is now passing it on to the specific record. He describes his father in the interview with the specific detail that the specific close observation of the specific parent over the specific decades produces, not the specific hero. He was careful about this, the same care that Gerald had been careful about in the specific conversation of 1976, not the specific villain. The specific Gerald, the hardware store, the Ohio life, the specific bedroom drawer, the specific Tuesday afternoon that he finally heard about in 1976. He said, "My father was not a complicated man in the way that the word complicated usually means. He was not the specific tortured artist or the specific conflicted intellectual. He was a specific practical man of the specific Ohio life, the specific man who fixed things and sold things and maintained the specific ordinary functioning of the specific ordinary household. He was also in the specific private dimension that the specific bedroom drawer held, the specific man who had thrown the specific metal into the specific river and who had kept the specific empty box and who had carried the specific thing for 30 years before he told me. He said, I think he told me because I came home from Vietnam in the specific state that made the telling necessary. He saw the specific state and he understood it from the specific inside, and he decided that the specific inside understanding was a specific thing I needed from him rather than the specific outside reassurance that everything was going to be fine. Everything was not going to be simply fine. He knew this. I knew this. He told me the specific thing that was true for him. I received it, and it helped me find the specific thing that was true for me. This is a specific form of the specific gift, not the specific reassurance, not the specific outside comfort, but the specific inside truth from the specific person who has been inside the specific similar thing. Gerald gave his son the specific inside truth of of the specific 30 years. The son received it, and it helped. He was asked in the interview whether he had forgiven his father for the specific thing his father had told him. He said, "I was not the one who needed to forgive my father. The specific German soldier's family was the one who needed to forgive him. And I don't know if they know the specific thing happened, and I don't know if they would forgive it if they did. I forgave my father for being a man in a specific moment who made the specific decision that the specific moment produced. That is what there was to forgive. That is what I forgave." He was asked whether his father had forgiven himself. He said, "I don't think forgiveness is the right word for what my father did with it. Forgiveness implies a specific resolution of the specific weight, the specific putting down of the specific thing. My father did not put the specific thing down. He kept the specific box. He kept it until he died. He carried the specific thing until the end. What he did was find the specific way to carry it honestly rather than secretly. The telling was not the forgiveness. The telling was a specific decision to carry the specific thing in the specific form that included at least one other person who knew. He was right. The telling was not the forgiveness. It was a specific form of the specific honest, carrying that the specific 30 years of the specific secret carrying had finally been replaced by. Gerald still carried it after 1976. He carried it differently, in the form that included his son, in the specific shared form rather than the specific solitary form. He died in 1988 carrying it. The box was still in the drawer. The river still had the medal. His son knew the specific thing. The oral history now has the specific words. He threw the medal away. He kept the box. He told his son. The words are in the record. The specific accounting is incomplete and will always be incomplete. The specific German soldier's family does not have the specific accounting, and the specific German soldier is not in the specific record in the specific way that Gerald and his son are in the record. That is a specific limitation of the specific one-sided record. The specific accounting contains a specific one side that the specific archive can contain. Gerald's side is in the record. The specific truth of his specific side is in the record. The specific incomplete accounting is better than the specific medal in the specific drawer, better than the specific official accounting that said he was right and did not say what else was true. He threw the medal away. The throwing was the beginning of the specific honest accounting. The oral history is the accounting. The accounting is in the record. That is enough. The specific wife, Gerald's wife, who is mentioned in the memoir, but who is the specific person who was closest to Gerald for specific 42 years of specific marriage, and who did not know about the specific thing until she heard it from the specific son after Gerald's death, deserves a specific particular attention that the specific family accounting requires. Her name was Ruth. She had married Gerald in 1947, a year after the specific Tuesday afternoon on the specific bridge. She had known about the medal, had seen the specific box in the specific drawer, had asked once what was in it, had received the specific answer that it was from the war and that he did not want to talk about it. She had not pressed. She had the specific particular wisdom of the specific wife who understands that the specific things the specific husband does not want to talk about are the specific things that pressing does not help. She had lived with a specific empty box in the specific bedroom drawer for 41 years without knowing what it meant. She had known it meant something, had understood from the specific quality of the specific not talking about it, that the specific box was a specific more than simply the specific storage of the specific unwanted decoration. She had not known what the specific more was. She found out in 1988, after Gerald died, when the specific son told her what Gerald had told him in 1976. She was 70 years old. She had been married to Gerald for 41 years. She had not known. She said to the son that she wished he had told her, not with the specific anger of the specific betrayed. She understood why he had not told her, or she was working toward the understanding, but with the specific particular sadness of the specific person who has been beside the specific person for 41 years, and who has been on the outside of the specific thing for specific full time. The son said, in the oral history interview, that his mother's specific response to the specific information was a specific response that had stayed with him most from the specific entire story, not his father's specific telling in 1976. That had been the specific most important conversation, But his mother's specific response in 1988, she had said, "I wish he had trusted me with it. I would have carried it with him." She would have. The son believed this. He believed that the specific particular Ruth who had married the specific particular Gerald in 1947 and who had built a specific particular 41-year life with him was a specific particular person who could have received the specific particular thing and who could have helped him carry it in the specific particular way that the specific wife of the specific man carries the specific things. Gerald had not told her. He had protected her from it. The specific protective impulse of the specific man who does not want the specific person he loves to carry the specific thing he is carrying. He had carried it alone, in the specific private form of the specific bedroom drawer. For 30 years before he told his son, he had never told his wife. She died in 2003. The box is still in the family. The oral history is in the archive. The specific conversation that never happened, Gerald and Ruth about the specific German soldier and the specific hands and the specific river, is a specific absence in the specific record. The specific absence is real. Gerald kept it from her. He was wrong to keep it from her. Perhaps the specific son thought so. The specific Ruth thought so. He was also the specific person who was carrying the specific thing and who made the specific decision about the specific carrying in the specific particular way of the specific particular person he was. He was wrong to keep it from her. He was also the specific Gerald, doing the specific thing in the specific way that the specific Gerald did the specific things. Both are true. The box is in the drawer. The river has the metal. The archive has the words. The specific absence of the specific conversation with Ruth is also part of the record. The specific thing that was not said, the specific weight that was not shared with the specific person who said she would have carried it with him. She would have. He did not let her. He carried it alone until the son. That is the specific, most private part of the specific full accounting. The metal is in the river. Ruth said she would have carried it with him. He did not let her. That is part of the full accounting too. The specific hardware store, the specific place where Gerald worked for 35 years after the war, is a specific background to the specific story that the specific narrative has moved to quickly past. He had taken over his father's hardware store in 1948, a year after his marriage to Ruth. The specific store had been in the specific Ohio city for 20 years when Gerald took it over, and Gerald ran it for 35 more years until his retirement in 1983. The specific store was a specific fixture of the specific community, the specific place where the specific people of the specific neighborhood came for the specific practical things that the specific ordinary life requires, and where the specific Gerald was the specific reliable and the specific knowledgeable presence of the specific 35 years. He was good at the hardware store in the specific way that the specific right person in the specific right place is good at the specific thing. He knew the specific inventory and the specific people and the specific particular way that the specific practical problems of the specific ordinary household required the specific solutions. He was patient. He was specific in the specific helpful way, not the specific abstract advice, but the specific particular advice that the specific particular problem required. The specific community trusted him. He had built the specific trust over the specific 35 years in the specific way that the specific small business builds trust in the specific community through the specific consistent specific reliability of the specific service over the specific time. The specific community did not know about the specific Tuesday afternoon or the specific empty box or the specific German soldier. They knew the specific Gerald of the specific hardware store, the specific man who could tell you the specific right fastener for specific application, the specific man whose specific word was the specific reliable thing in the specific context where the specific reliable word is the specific most important thing. He was both specific Gerald simultaneously for 35 years. The specific hardware store Gerald and the specific private Gerald with the specific empty box in the specific bedroom drawer. Both were real. Both were him. The specific community received one specific Gerald. The specific bedroom drawer held the other specific Gerald. The specific son received both in 1976. The specific integration of the specific two Geralds, the specific public man and the specific private man who had thrown the specific metal into the specific river, is one of the specific, more common forms of the specific human experience that the specific story illuminates. Most people contain the specific more than the specific outside world receives. Most people have the specific drawer with the specific particular thing in it, not always the specific metal or the specific empty box, but the specific particular private thing that the specific public life does not contain and that the specific private person carries in the specific private form. Gerald's specific private thing was the specific more extreme than the specific ordinary private thing, the specific German soldier and the specific Tuesday afternoon, and the specific 30 years of the specific private carrying. But the specific structure of the specific private thing and the specific public life running alongside it is the specific ordinary structure that the specific extraordinary circumstances had produced in the specific extreme form. He ran the hardware store. He kept the box. He told his son in 1976. He retired in 1983. He died in 1988. The hardware store has a different owner now. The specific community has a specific different hardware store that is the specific same hardware store in the specific different form. The specific Gerald of the specific hardware store is in the specific memory of the specific community members who are old enough to remember him. The specific other Gerald, the specific empty box, the specific Tuesday afternoon, the specific German soldier, is in the oral history archive. Both are in the world. Both are Gerald. The specific final image I want to give the story is the specific image of the specific Tuesday afternoon itself, not the specific dramatic moment of the specific throwing, which is a specific image the specific telling usually reaches for first, but the specific moment before it. He stood on the bridge. He held the specific medal in his hand. He looked at it for a while. The specific looking was not the specific last farewell. It was not the specific dramatic goodbye to the specific object that had represented the specific official accounting. It was a specific looking of the specific man who had the specific thing in his hand and who was in the specific moment before the specific decision was fully made. The specific moment when the specific both true was most present, the specific valor and the specific wrong simultaneously in the specific small metal object in the specific hand. He looked at it. Then he opened his hand. The specific metal fell into the specific river. He watched it until it was gone. Then he walked home. He kept the box. He carried the weight. He told his son 30 years later. His son carried it forward and gave it to the archive. The specific looking on the specific bridge is not in the record. The record begins after the bridge, with the empty box and the 30 years and the sun. But the specific looking happened, and the specific looking was the specific moment when the specific truth was most visibly held. Both truths, the specific valor and the specific wrong, in the specific hand at the same time, before the specific hand opened and one truth went into the river and the other stayed with Gerald for the rest of his life. He held both. Then he let one go. He kept the other. That is Gerald. That is the soldier who threw away his war medal. That is the full accounting. The specific question that Gerald's story poses, the specific question about what the specific honor is for and what it cannot contain, is one that every specific decorated veteran has had to address in the specific private form that the specific circumstances required. The specific honor is for the specific action. The specific action in the specific combat is never only one thing. The specific medal acknowledges one dimension of the specific action, the specific dimension that the specific institution can acknowledge in the specific official form. It cannot acknowledge every dimension. The specific other dimensions, the specific wrong things, the specific complicated things, the specific things that happen alongside the specific action that the specific official form does not address, are the specific dimensions that the specific veteran carries in the specific private form. Gerald carried them in the specific empty box. He carried them for 30 years. He told his son, the words are in the record. The specific record now has a specific more complete accounting than the specific official record has. Not the specific complete accounting. The specific German soldier and the specific German soldier's family are not in the specific record in the specific complete form, but the specific more complete accounting. The specific Gerald who was brave and the specific Gerald who was wrong are both in the oral history. The specific official record has only the specific brave Gerald. Both Geralds are real. The specific, more complete record has both. He stood on the bridge. He looked at the medal. He opened his hand. He went home. He kept the box. He carried the weight. He told his son. His son told the archive. The archive has it now. The specific, more complete accounting is in the world. Subscribe and share this story with someone who carries a specific both true. The specific something they did that was right and also wrong in the same moment, that the specific official accounting covers only one side of. Their weight is real. The specific both true deserves a specific honest carrying. He carried it for 30 years in secret. He carried it for 12 years with his son knowing. He died having done both. The medal is in the river. The box is in the drawer. The words are in the archive. That is enough. That is the full accounting of the soldier who threw away his war medal and spent decades explaining why, and who finally found the explanation, not in the throwing, but in the telling. The specific son's final words in the oral history interview, the specific last thing he said before the specific recording ended, are worth preserving here, because they are the specific, most honest ending available to the specific story. The interviewer asked him, "What do you think your father would want people to know about him?" He said, "I think he would want people to know that he was not simply the hardware store, and not simply the Bronze Star, and not simply the Tuesday afternoon on the bridge. He would want people to know that he was all three at the same time, and that the specific all three was the specific Gerald, and that the specific Gerald was the specific person who held the specific both true in the specific hand on the specific bridge, and who opened a hand, and let one go and kept the other. He would want people to know that the keeping was the specific harder thing. The throwing was over in a second. The keeping lasted the rest of his life. He kept the empty box. He kept the weight. He told me. I told the archive. That is what he would want people to know, that the throwing is not the end of the story. The keeping is the story. The telling is a specific form of the specific accounting that the specific throwing began. He threw the medal away. He kept the box. He kept the weight. He told his son. His son told the archive. The specific accounting began on the specific Tuesday afternoon on the specific bridge. It continued for the specific 42 years. It is in the record now. He held both. He let one go. He carried the other. That is Gerald. That is the soldier who threw away his war medal and spent decades explaining why. He explained it to his son. His son explained it to the archive. The archive has it now. That is enough. That is everything. The specific medal is in the specific river. The specific river has carried it downstream for 78 years. It is part of the specific riverbed now. The specific small metal object in the specific silt of the specific Ohio River, below the specific bridge where Gerald stood on a specific Tuesday afternoon in September 1946. The specific river does not know what it carries. The specific river carries it anyway. The specific metal is in the specific water and the specific weight. The specific bronze and the specific particular designation and the specific ribbon is dissolved into the specific particular place. The specific place where Gerald threw it does not mark the spot. The river moves. The specific metal moved with it. The specific river is still there. The bridge is still there. The specific spot is gone. What is not gone is in the archive. What is not gone is in this episode. The specific both true, the specific valor and the specific wrong, is in the record. He threw the medal away. He kept the box. He told his son. That is the full accounting.